I assume you guys aren't worried about John at all.
No, not at all. I think it's on us. We got to have him more comfortable in the pocket. He has some pressure in his face, and that's 100% on us. We want to make sure he's as comfortable as possible.
Febechi, what broke down on that play where you guys gave up the safety in the second quarter?
I think it's communication again, just knowing where to go to, how to leverage blocks. We all got to be, the O-line has to be more detailed, especially in critical situations like that, because that stuff costs you.
What happened on that 4th and 2 play in the second quarter near midfield where you guys went under center and full personnel?
Same thing, details, and we just got to make sure we're all on the same page. Just miscommunication. We have to be louder, talk to each other. Hold each other accountable. Just little things.
I saw Ryan Foje out there at the right tackle a little bit as well. I mean, how long did you guys get to work with him at tackle?
Honestly, I'm really proud of that guy. He only worked really 2 days, and he went out there. He balled, like he dominated. Especially being a young guy, getting just kind of thrown into a position. He really excelled.
I think we saw a lot of EPL left guard today too.
Sure.
What would you think of him and just how he's kind of come along this season after kind of being a reserve for most of the year?
Him too. Obviously, all around, it wasn't good enough, but EPL, Ryan Foje, both of them, they really stepped up in a big way, especially that second half. We started to get some things going, but again, proud of those guys, but I'm not gonna take it easy on them. It wasn't good enough. I don't care if you are a freshman. We got to pick it up. All got to be done.
In that vein, like Mike Fasusi's had some tough games. What's kind of your message to him as he's kind of going through these growing pains?
I tell him to let it burn. I want him to really feel it because things like that make you better. Again, he's a young guy. I'm not gonna take it easy on him because he's a young guy, but he's only gonna get better, and I know he's gonna do great things. But I need him to do great things right now, so that's what we're pushing him to do.
What does it say about Xavier Robinson? I think he had 1 touch in the first half, and then the third quarter, explodes and really gets you guys back into the game.
I take that on us. That first quarter, we weren't good enough to run the ball. We weren't doing the things we needed to do. And in that second half, we tried to come out and we were more detailed, and that kind of helped with the explosiveness. Xavier's a great player, physical, big, tough runner, but in my opinion, I think that the first half, the feeling in the running ball was on the O-line.
Did X give you guys a little bit of an energy boost, though, just the way he was running the ball?
No, of course. When you score a big play, especially a big, long run, it's going to give everybody energy. So that was really huge for us. So,
you guys obviously go to Knoxville this week. How as a unit you guys kind of rebound from this loss and get back together and play Tennessee on the road?
I think it begins with me, taking accountability for what I did, what I could do better, but I think everybody's tone right now is, what did I do this week that wasn't enough, because obviously it wasn't enough, and I think everybody's really just focused on improving and taking that next step, especially those young guys, they're starting to get more action, so they're really focused on, their details and just the little things in the run game and in the pass game.
Febechi, what's the message after the game for Isaiah when he has such a big game receiving and has that fumble with his fumble on the touch?
Obviously, it kind of hurts us, but the game isn't on him. He's only one player. I think that as an offensive line, we didn't do our part today. I can never blame a guy for talking about people miss blocks and you don't kill us. So I just think that it's on us. Everybody has to look into themselves, and I think it starts with me and the offensive line because I feel like we should be the rock of this team. We should be the strongest unit, and we got to live up to that.
How do you kind of explain, I guess, just the fluctuation of you guys were really physical in the run game against South Carolina, and then today it's a little bit tougher sledding? Is it the opponent, or is it like a play-to-play effort for you guys?
I think it's just the details, stepping the right way, getting your hands inside. I think we were better in the second half, but, it has to be a full game thing. Even the South Carolina game, I think the first half we were good, second half we didn't do as good. So we just have to play a complete game, and we're excited for the opportunity to do that at Tennessee.
You guys get the 2 opportunities near the end of the game to tie it up. What's just the frustration level of not being able to do that?
Man, it's extremely frustrating. There's critical situations where we have to, convert, we have to complete, we have to execute, and we obviously didn't do that today. But I think the message is, what can we do better? What do we need to improve on, and how do we make sure it doesn't happen again? Honestly, in my opinion, we shouldn't be in that position. We should have done what we needed to do earlier in the game so that we're not in that position. And Ole Miss is a great team. I'm not taking anything away from them, but I just have high standards for us.